This is different. Obviously, you've seen the setup in the previous video, um, and I'm going to continue to do more. Not 100% of my videos, but I'm going to continue to do more in front of my streaming gaming setup because I can have information in front of me. The camera's set up, the microphone's ready to go. I can be as informal as I need to be, and it's also easier to edit on here than my MacBook. But despite the lighting change, even though purple and blue are not my branding's colors, I felt like changing the mood, changing it to more like my streaming colors. Although I normally have more light, I wanted to set a kind of more chill tone, more let's have a talk tone. As you might have guessed by reading the title of this video, this is not about whose badge do I like better. Why I dislike X team, or who do I think is going to be next year's A-League winner, or Allsvenskan people who teams are going to get relegated from Allsvenskan next season. Also, if I keep looking down, it's because I'm actually just making sure everything's running. I should be staring more at the camera. I don't have a script. This is purely unedited. This is unscripted. I'm gonna one take it. Whatever take makes it gets uploaded is the take. But I will try to keep this from being too rambly. Because I don't think this is something that could easily be like hours of content about and speaking with other people, and I probably will. But for right now, this is where I want to be. And a big part of this sport, of any sport, but I'm just going to keep this in the frame of soccer, because that's mostly what I talk about on here, is bringing people together. You always see these videos, whether it's Derby Days, whether it's other stories about the history of a game or a sport, or a derby or whatever. It's like, oh, this team means everything to this city, or it's people brings people of all faiths and creeds and all this stuff together, and that's great on paper, and in some instances it really does on a service level. But there's unfortunately a large underbelly of that, in that there is quite a lot of people who don't feel as welcome, who don't feel as unified. They may love the same sports team as another person, but people will question them. Why do you like this team? Do you know anything about this team? Do you even know anything about sports? Is this your significant other's jersey? Do you only like them because you're significant other? I could get into more crude examples, and I really don't want to. But I think you kind of know the snowball effect I'm doing here. And I think it's important that I say something, because over this past year especially, but over time in general, I have been doing more and more to make sure that everything I'm involved in, I can be as inclusive as possible to anyone who wants to be involved, whether it's the Red Eye Rowdies, the hockey group that I help run with Carolina Hurricanes, whether it's me participating in Oak City Supporters, or for my local men's team, or the NC Courage with the Uproar, the Triangle Gooners. Regardless of my level of involvement, versus whether it's I told you, you're gonna get the take. I fidget with this a lot anyway on stream. Is this going the right way? Yeah. Sorry, I bring a light moment to a deep conversation. Oh God, it's really moving a lot. That's okay. Got my zen back. Regardless of my level of involvement, whether it's ownership, or I should say leadership, participant, observer, whatever, I want to make sure that no matter what I do, I'm always being as open as I can be. If you're being an asshole to somebody, I mean, even if it's just drunk asshole, if you're just being an asshole, I'm gonna make sure that if I can help to make sure the person who's receiving that disorderly person's behavior, that they can feel like they're not unwelcome because this person was an asshole. If anything, the asshole should feel like they're unwelcome. and extend, but everyone doesn't have this luxury and everyone doesn't have this comfort. And, the more I've gotten involved with sports Twitter, um, I hear about it. Obviously, I have been fortunate. Well, it's hard to say this. I have been fortunate not to see it as much in person. But that being said, that's probably because I've only looked on the surface level. But on Twitter, sports Twitter is very open about a lot of things that go on. And there are a lot of people who do truly feel unwelcome from other people because of how they dress, of what their gender identity is, their sexual orientation is, what their skin color is. It is unfortunate that people say it all the time. How can this happen? We're in the 21st century. Well, the thing is a lot of these issues are older, much older than just the past 100 years. A lot of these issues have been going on for the entirety of mankind. And, we're always evolving and trying to fix it and try to make things better. And I think we have come a long way, but we certainly have a long way to go. And I say this as somebody who 99.99% of the time has never felt barred from doing anything because of who I am. No one's ever questioned why I like a sport or how I know anything about a sport because of my skin color, because of my identity, how I dress, anything. I'm trying to avoid being super specific on examples because I want to make this as broad as possible for a good reason. Because that's the point of inclusiveness I want to have, and I'm just kind of saying this off the chest. So, in some responses and specific situations, I may be more specific, but in general, I'm trying to bring awareness the fact that it's not all peachy keen, it's not all rosy, it's not it is actually kind of a lie that sports bring people together. And the only point that you hear people who complain about sports and politics and sports. Well, first of all, you don't understand how entrenched sports are with politics. Like, politics are a part of sports. They've always been, to varying degrees and to varying reasons. And yes, it would absolutely be nice if sports didn't divide us, other than which team we support when they're on the field, on ice. That would be lovely. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't want everyone to like their sports or their teams or wear the same jerseys. And it's unfortunate that we have to battle this every day, but it is reality. And I want to do my part in raising awareness to that as much as I can. Now, obviously, this channel is a very informationally based thing and opinion based thing. I talk about I like a certain jersey, why I think one logo looks dumber than another, why I think Team A is going to win the Allsvenskan, and why I think that I don't know. I'm running out of examples, and this is all off the cuff. So I just wanted to pull this together real quick, and I could keep going. And honestly, I really do want to keep going. I want to have segments that are more off the cuff, single take, not super, like, really truly live up to the name of Informal Fan. But there's one thing that I consider not very formal about my page, and that is my support of people who want to be a part of their respective sports communities and not feel any issues. I want to make sure that any person can go see a team and enjoy it, regardless of who they are. I want to make sure that if I can do anything to help, whether it's donating money, whether it's if I see confrontation in person, getting in, making sure that person isn't in trouble or in danger, and making sure that, if I can even just raise awareness, like by retweeting, by DMing people information about groups, organizations, charities, everything that work to bring people together. I want to do it. And I could throw some examples out there for sure. You know, I know the Plastics. If you haven't heard of them, you absolutely should look into them. Have done a phenomenal job of really, really fighting back against predominantly sexism, homophobia, and racism within soccer sports here in the States, but also in general. They've done a phenomenal job of getting people together and making people, you know, especially women of color, women of different, you know, shapes and sizes, everyone who wants to be involved in this movement. They want to help people come together and enjoy the sport without being catcalled, without being questioned. You know, a lot of these wonderful women and people will wear phenomenal outfits that are more than just, you know, t-shirt, jeans, or jersey. You know, they might wear a skirt to a game. They may wear, you know, something that's, you know, shows more skin. But you know what? The whole thing, the whole point is that's how they want to dress. That's how they want to support their teams. And you know, I think that, and then they get bullied. People get bullied online, and they don't feel like they don't have anywhere to go. And Plastics is, from obviously, I'm not like a member per se of like the organization, but I do have friends who help part of it. I'm very much a big supporter of it. I love a lot of the wonderful people who run it and are part of the organization. The reason why I'm shouting them out, honestly, they're the first people I thought of when I put this video together and wanted to talk about this video. So shout out to them. You know, of just a good example of how to fight back against a lot of the issues that we see for fans. And one other really quick shout out, and I know this is deviating from soccer to hockey, but you know, same thing with Black Girl Hockey Club. You know, I've had the immense pleasure of getting to collaborate with them slightly and also just support them when they came down to North Carolina to you know, really, they've gone around the country to gone to different teams and getting to meet teams and getting to tailgate with fans and meet them. And I'm very proud that, you know, the Red Eye Rowdies and the Hurricanes were able to really facilitate, make them feel welcome and really have their message heard. So again, I'd love to see the same thing. I'd love to see more of this all around. And you know, whatever I can do, I will do my best. And when I find out I'm wrong about something, I will do my best to move on from that. This isn't a piece to be too specific, to bring out too many specific examples, because this is something that I would love to talk about more with other people who especially are these people who are, you know, people who are more affected of things than I am. I want to make sure that I can use my voice. I realize I don't have, at this point in my career, I'm not as well heard as many other people, but I'm going to use my platform however I can, however far I grow. Whether it's this channel, whether it's my art channel, whether it's through my gaming streaming, my music, whatever. I'm going to do everything I can to continue to do what I can to help with inclusiveness, to make awareness of it, and to really help combat a lot of the bullshit that still exists. Even here in America, even in the 21st century, it doesn't matter. It's still fucking happening. And if you can't see it, you need to start looking. Or ask someone to help you point you in the right direction, because it's very much happening. So, anyway, this was different. This is very intentionally different. And I wanted to get this off my chest. I don't even know. Well, I should add a thumbnail to this at some point, but I think I'm going to immediately post this as soon as I get it up on YouTube. And, yeah. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel continuously. And please know that whoever you are, whatever level you love the sport, or any sport, I'm not going to talk, I'll talk about other sports eventually. Whatever your involvement is, you're welcome. And you're always a part of my community. You know, unless you're a bigot. If you do want to come out and start attacking people for their skin color, their gender identity, their sexual orientation. List all the things. I won't tolerate it for sure. But I do want to make sure that if you need help and you want to feel like you can be a part of this community, this wonderful sports community that has a lot of upsides, I will do whatever I can to make sure I help. So, until next time, I'm the Informal Fan. I'll see you in the next video.